Part One of Alcestis. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Expatriate in Bangor, Maine. Alcestis by Euripides. Translated by Arthur Sanders Way, 1847-1930. Part One. Apollo, being banished for a season from Olympus, and condemned to do service to a mortal, became herdsman of Admetus, king of Pherae in Thessaly. Yet he loathed not his earthly taskmaster, but loved him, for that he was a just man, and hospitable exceedingly. Wherefore he obtained from the Fates this boon for Admetus, that when his hour of death should come, they should accept in ransom for his life the life of whosoever should have before consented to die in his stead. Now when this was made known, none of them who were nearest by blood to the king would promise to be his ransom in that day. Then Alcestis his wife, the daughter of Pelias, king of Iolcos, pledged her to die for him. Of her love she did it, and for the honour of wifehood. And the years passed by, and the tale was told in many lands, and all men praised Alcestis, but Admetus bore a burden of sorrow, for day by day she became dearer to him, a wife wholly true, a mother most loving, and a lady to her thralls gentle exceedingly. But when it was known by tokens that the day was come, Admetus repented him sorely, but it availed not, for no mortal may recall a pledge once given to the gods. And on that day there came to the palace Apollo, to plead with death for Alcestis' sake, and a company of elders of Pherae, to ask of her state and to make mourning for her. And when she was dead, ere she was borne forth to burial, came Heracles, son of Zeus, in his journeying, seeking the guest's right of meat and lodging, but not knowing aught of that which had come to pass. Of him was a great deliverance wrought, which is told herein. Dramatis Personae. Apollo. Death. Chorus, composed of elders of Pherae. Handmaid. Alcestis, daughter of Pelias and wife of Admetus. Admetus, king of Pherae. Eumelus, king of Admetus and Alcestis. Heracles. Pheres, father of Admetus. Servants, steward of the palace. Guards, attendants, handmaids, and mourners. The scene throughout is in front of the palace of Admetus at Pherae. Enter Apollo. Apollo. Halls of Admetus, where I stooped my pride To brook the fare of serfs, yea, I, a god. The fault was fault of Zeus. He slew my son Asclepius, hurled the levin through his heart. Wroth for the dead, his smiths of heavenly fire I slew, the Cyclops. And for blood atonement, serf to a mortal man my father made me. To this land came I, tended mine host's kine, and warded still his house unto this day. Righteous myself, I lighted on the righteous, the son of Pheres. Him I snatched from death, cozening the fates. To me the sisters pledged them that imminent death Admetus should escape, if he for ransom gave another life. To all he went, all near and dear, and asked grey sire, the mother that had given him life, but, save his wife, found none that would consent for him to die and never more see light. Now in his arms upborne within yon home, she gaspeth forth her life, for on this day her weird it is to die and part from life. I, lest pollution taint me in their house, go forth of yonder hall's beloved roof. Enter Death. Lo, yonder Death! I see him nigh at hand, priest of the dead, who comes to hale her down to Hades' halls. Well hath he kept his time, watching this day whereon she needs must die. Death. Ha! Thou at the palace? Wilt not make room, Phoebus? Thou wrestest the right yet again. Thou removest the landmarks of gods of gloom, and thou makest their honours vain. Did this not suffice thee, to thwart that doom of Admetus, when all by thy cunning beguiled were the fates, that thou now must be warding the wife with thine hand made ready the bowstring to strain, though she pledged her from death to redeem with her life her lord, she, Peleus' child? Apollo. Fear not. Fair words and justice are with me. Death. Justice with thee? What needeth then the bow? Apollo. This my wont to bear it evermore. Death. Yea, and to aid yon house in lawless wise. Apollo. Mine heart is heavy for my friend's mischance. Death. What, wilt thou wrest from me this second corpse? Apollo. Nay, not that other did I take by force. Death. Not? Why on earth then? Why not underground? Apollo. She was his ransom, she for whom thou comest. Death. Yea, and will hale her deep beneath the earth. Apollo. Take her and go. I trow I shall not bend thee. Death. To slay the victim due? Mine office this. Apollo. Nay, but to smite with death the ripe for death. Death. I discern thy plea, thy zeal, good sooth. Apollo. And may Alcestis never see old age? Death. Never. Should I not love mine honours too? Apollo. 'Tis soon or late. Thou canst but take one life. Death. Yet mine the goodlier prize, when die the young. Apollo. Think, royal obsequies, if old she die. Death. Lo, Phoebus making laws to shield the rich. Apollo. How say'st thou? Thou a sophist unawares. Death. Would wealth not buy the boon of dying old? Apollo. So then thou wilt not grant this grace to me? Death. Nay, surely. Dost not know my wonted way? Apollo. Hateful to mortals this, and loathed of gods. Death. All things beyond thy rights thou canst not have. Apollo. Surely thou shalt forbear, though ruthless thou, so mighty a man to Pheres' halls shall come, sent of Eurystheus forth, the courser car, from winter dreary lands of Thrace to bring, guest welcomed in Admetus' palace here. By force yon woman shall he wrest from thee. Yea, thou of me shalt have no thank for this, and yet shalt do it, and shalt have mine hate. [Exit Apollo. Death. Talk on, talk on. No profit shalt thou win. This woman down to Hades' halls shall pass. For her I go, my sword shall seal her ours. For sacred to the nether gods is he from whose head this sword hath shorn the hair. [Exit Death. Enter Chorus, dividing to right and left, so that the sections answer one another. Half Chorus 1. What meaneth this hush affront of the hall? The home of Admetus, why voiceless all? Half Chorus 2. No friend of the house who should speak of its plight Is nigh, who should bid that we raise the keen For the dead, or should tell us that yet on the light Alcestis looketh, and liveth the queen, The daughter of Pelias, the noblest, I ween, Yea, in all men's sight, the noblest of women on earth that have been. Strophe I. Half Chorus 1. Or hearest thou mourning or sighing or beating of hands, or the wail of bereaved ones out crying? No handmaid stands at the palace gate. O Healer, appear for the dying, appear as a bright bird flying 'Twixt the surges of fate. Half Chorus 2. Ah, they would not be hushed, had the life of her flown. Half Chorus 1. Not forth of the door is the death train gone. Half Chorus 2. Whence cometh thine hope, which I boast not mine own? Half Chorus 1. Would the king without pomp of procession Have yielded the grave the possession Of so dear, of so faithful a one? Antistrophe I. Half Chorus 2. Nor the cup in the gateway appeareth, From the spring that they bear To the gate that pollution feareth, Nor the severed hair In the porch for the dead, Which the mourner in bitterness sheareth, Neither beating of hands one heareth On maiden's head. Half Chorus 1. Yet surely is this the appointed day. Half Chorus 2. Ah, what wilt thou say? Half Chorus 1. Whereon of her doom She must pass to the tomb. Half Chorus 2. With a keen pang's smart Hast thou stabbed mine heart. Half Chorus 1. It is meet when the good are as flowers plucked away, That in sorrow's gloom Should the breast of the old tried friend have part. Chorus. Strophe 2. Though ye voyage all seas, Ye shall light on no lands, Nor on Lycia's leas, Nor Ammonian sands, Whence redemption shall come for the wretched, Or loosing of death's dread bands. Doom's imminent slope is a precipice steep. In no god is there hope, though his altars should weep With the crimson atonement, should veil them in clouds of the hecatomb sheep. Antistrophe 2. Ah, once there was one, were life's light in the eyes Of Phoebus' son, then our darling might rise From the mansions of darkness, through portals of Hades return to our skies. For he raised up the dead, ere flashed from the heaven, From Zeus' hand sped, that bolt of the levin. But now what remaineth to wait for? What hope of her life is given? No sacrifice more unrendered remaineth, No god but the gore from his altars down raineth. Yet healing is none for our ills, neither balm that the spirit sustaineth. Enter HANDMAID. But hither cometh of the handmaids one, weeping the while. What tidings shall I hear? To grieve at all mischance unto thy lords May be forgiven; but if thy lady lives, Or even now hath passed, fain would we know. Handmaid. She liveth and is dead. Both mayst thou say. Chorus. Ay so? How should the same be dead and live? Handmaid. Even now she droopeth, gasping out her life. Chorus. Noble and stricken, how noble she thou losest! Handmaid. His depth of loss he knows not ere it come. Chorus. And hope, is no hope left her life to save? Handmaid. None, for the day foredoomed constraineth her. Chorus. Are all things meet then, being done for her? Handmaid. Yea, ready is her burial attire. Chorus. Let her be sure that glorious she dies, And noblest woman 'neath the sun's wide way. Handmaid. Noblest? How not? What tongue will dare gainsay? What must the woman be who passeth her? How could a wife give honour to her lord More than by yielding her to die for him? And this yea, all the city knoweth this But what within she did, hear thou and marvel. For when she knew that the appointed day was come, In river water her white skin she bathed, And from the cedar chest took forth Vesture and jewels, and decked her gloriously, And stood before the hearth and prayed, and said: Queen, for I pass beneath the earth, I fall before thee now, and never more, and pray. Be mother to my orphans, mate with him A loving wife, with her a noble husband. Nor, as their mother dieth, so may they, My children, die untimely, but with weal In the home land fill up a life of bliss. To all the altars through Admetus' halls She went, with wreaths she hung them, and she prayed, Plucking the while the tresses of the myrtle, Tearless, unsighing, and the imminent fate Changed not the lovely rose tint of her cheek. Then to her bower she rushed, fell on the bed, And there, oh there she wept, and thus she speaks: O couch, whereon I loosed the maiden zone For this man, for whose sake I die to day, Farewell, I hate thee not. Me hast thou lost, me only. Loth to fail thee and my lord, I die, but thee another bride shall own, Not more true hearted, happier perchance. Then falls thereon and kisses. All the bed is watered with the flood of melting eyes. But having wept her fill of many tears, Drooping she goeth, reeling from the couch, Yet oft as forth the bower she passed returned, And flung herself again upon the couch. And the babes, clinging to their mother's robes, were weeping, And she clasped them in her arms, fondling now this, now that, As one death doomed. And all the servants 'neath the roof were weeping, Pitying their lady. But to each she stretched her right hand forth, And none there was so mean to whom she spake not And received reply. Such are the ills Admetus' home within. Now had he died, he had ended; but in 'scaping He bears a pain that he shall ne'er forget. Chorus. Doth not Admetus groan for this affliction Of such a noble wife to be bereft? Handmaid. Ay, weeps, and clasps his dear one in his arms, And prays, forsake me not, asking the while The impossible, for still she wanes and wastes, Drooping her hand, a misery burdened weight. But yet, albeit hardly breathing now, To the sun's rays fain would she lift her eyes, As never more, but for the last time then, Destined to see the sun's beam and his orb. But I will go and make thy presence known. For 'tis not all that love so well their kings As to stand by them, in afflictions loyal, But from of old my lords were loved of thee. [Exit. 9 members of the chorus chant successively. Chorus i. O Zeus, for our lords is there nought but despair? No path through the tangle of evils, no loosing of chains that have bound them? Chorus 2. No tidings, remaineth but rending of hair, and the stricken ones turn to the tomb with the garments of sorrow around them? Chorus 3. Even so, yet uplift we in prayer our hands to the gods, for that power from the days everlasting hath crowned them. Chorus 4. O Healer King, find thou for Admetus the balm of relief, for the captive deliverance. Chorus 5. Vouchsafe it, for heretofore hast thou found out a way. Even now once more pluck back our beloved from Hades' door. Strike down Death's hand, red reeking with gore. Chorus 6. Woe's me, let the woe dirge ring. Ah, Scion of Pheres, alas for thy lot, for love's long severance. Chorus 7. For such things on his sword might a man not fall, or knit up his throat in the noose 'twixt the heaven and the earth that quivereth. Chorus 8. For his dear one, nay, but his dearest of all, shall he see on this day lying dead, while her spirit by Lethe shivereth. Chorus 9. O look yonder, where forth of the hall she cometh, and he at her side, whose life by her life she delivereth. Chorus united. Cry, land Pheraian, shrill the keen, lift up thy voice to wail thy best there dying, and thy queenliest, slow wasting to the gates unseen. Tell me not this, that wedlock brings to them that wed more bliss than woe. I look back to the long ago, I muse on these unhappiest things. Lo, here a king, he forfeiteth the truest heart, the noblest wife. And what shall be henceforth his life? A darkened day, a living death. Enter female attendants bearing Alcestis, accompanied by Admetus and children. Alcestis. O sun and the day's dear light, and ye clouds through the wheeling heaven in the race everlasting flying. Admetus. He seeth thee and me, two stricken ones, who wrought the gods no wrong, that thou shouldest die. Alcestis. O land, O stately height Of mine halls and my bridal couch in Iolcos, my fatherland lying. Admetus. Uplift thee, hapless love, forsake me not, and pray the mighty gods in ruth to turn. Alcestis. I see the boat with the oars twin sweeping, and his hand on the pole as in haste aye keeping. Charon the ferryman calleth, What ho, wilt thou linger and linger? Hasten, 'tis thou dost delay me, he crieth with beckoning finger. Admetus. Ah me, a bitter ferrying this thou namest. O evil starred, what woes endure we now! Alcestis. One haileth me hence to the mansion of the dead. Dost thou mark not the darkling expansion of the pinions of Hades, the blaze of his eyes 'neath their caverns outglaring? What wouldst thou? Unhand me. In anguish and pain by what path am I faring? Admetus. Woeful to them that love thee, most to me and to thy babes, sad sharers in this grief. Alcestis. Let be. Let me sink back to rest me. There is no strength left in my feet. Hades is near, and the night is darkening down on my sight. Darlings, farewell. On the light long may ye look. I have blessed ye, ere your mother to nothingness fleet. Admetus. Ah me, for thy word rusheth bitterness o'er me, bitterness passing the anguish of death. Forsake me not now, by the gods I implore thee, by the babes thou wilt orphan. Oh, yield not thy breath! Look up, be of cheer, if thou diest, before me is nothingness. Living, we aye live thine, and we die unto thee. For our hearts are a shrine, wherein for thy love passing word we adore thee. Alcestis. Admetus, for thou seest all my plight, fain would I speak mine heart's wish ere I die. I, honouring thee and setting thee in place Before mine own soul, still to see this light, Am dying, unconstrained to die for thee. I might have wed what man Thessalian I would, have dwelt wealth crowned in princely halls, Yet would not live on, torn away from thee, With orphaned children. Wherefore spared I not The gifts of youth still mine. wherein I joyed. Yet she that bare, he that begat, forsook thee, though fair for death their time of life was come. Yea, fair, to save their son and die renowned. Their only one wert thou. No hope there was to get them sons thereafter, hadst thou died. So had I lived, and thou to after days. Thou wert not groaning of thy wife bereaved, thy children motherless. Howbeit this some god hath brought to pass. It was to be. Let be. Remember thou what thank is due for this. I never can ask full requital, for naught there is more precious than the life, yet justly due. For these thy babes thou lovest no less than I, if that thine heart be right. Suffer that they have lordship in mine home. Wed not a stepdame to supplant our babes, whose heart shall tell her she is no Alcestis, whose jealous hand shall smite them, thine and mine. Do not, do not this, I pray thee, ay, for the new stepdame hateth still the babes of her that's gone with more than viper venom. The boy, his father, is his tower of strength, to whom to speak, of whom to win reply. But, O my child, what girlhood will be thine? To thee what would she be, thy father's yoke mate? What if with ill report she smirched thy name, and in thy youth's flower marred thy marriage hopes? For thee thy mother ne'er shall deck for bridal, nor hearten thee in travail, O my child. There, where naught gentler than the mother is. For I must die, nor shall it be to mourn, nor on the third day comes on me this bane. Straightway of them that are not shall I be. Farewell, be happy. Now for thee, my lord, abides the boast to have won the noblest wife, for you, my babes, to have sprung from noblest mother. Chorus. Fear not, for I am bold to speak for him. This will he do, and if he be not mad. End of Part I. Recording by Expatriate in Bangor, Maine. Part II of Alcestis by Euripides. Translated by Arthur Sanders Way, 1847-1930. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Recording by Expatriate in Bangor, Maine. Part II. Admetus. It shall be, dread not thou. For thee living I had, and dead mine only wife shalt thou be called. Nor ever in thy stead shall bride Thessalian hail me as her lord. None is there of a father so high born, none so for beauty peerless among women. Children enough have I pray the gods for joy in these, our joy in thee is naught. Not for a year's space will I mourn for thee, but long as this my life shall last, dear wife, loathing my mother, hating mine own sire, for in word only, not in deed, they loved me. Thou gav'st in ransom for my life thine all of precious, and didst save. Do I not well to groan, who lose such yoke-fellow in thee? Revels shall cease, and gatherings at the wine, garlands and song, which wont to fill mine house. For nevermore mine hand shall touch the lyre, nor will I lift up heart to sing to flute of Libya. Thou hast robbed my life of mirth, and wrought by craftsmen's cunning hands thy form imaged, upon a couch outstretched shall lie, falling whereon and clasping with mine hands, calling thy name, in fancy shall mine arms hold my beloved, though I hold her not. A chill delight, I wot, yet shall I lift the burden from my soul. In dreams shalt thou haunt me and gladden, sweet to see the loved, though but a fleeting presence night revealed. But were the tongue and strain of Orpheus mine, to witch Demeter's daughter and her lord, and out of Hades by my song to win thee, I had fared down, nor Pluto's hound had stayed me, nor spirit wafter Charon at the oar. Or ever I restored thy life to light. Yet there look thou for me, whenso I die. Prepare a home, as who shall dwell with me. For in the selfsame cedar chest wherein thou liest will I bid them lay my bones, outstretched beside thee. Ne'er may I be severed, no, not in death, from thee, my one true friend. Chorus. Yea, I withal will mourn, as friend, with thee for this thy wife, for she is worthy. Alcestis. My child, ye yourselves have heard all this. Have heard your father pledge him ne'er to wed For your oppression and for my dishonour. Admetus. Yea, now I say it, and I will perform. Alcestis. On these terms take the children from mine hand. Admetus. I take them, precious gift from precious hand. Alcestis. Be to these babes a mother in my stead. Admetus. Sore is their need, who are bereft of thee. Alcestis. Darlings, I should have lived, and lo, I die. Admetus. Ah me, what shall I do, forlorn of thee? Alcestis. Time shall bring healing, but the dead is naught. Admetus. Take me, take me with thee to the grave. Alcestis. Suffice it that one dies, she dies for thee. Admetus. O death, of what a wife dost thou bereave me? Alcestis. Dark, dark, mine eyes are drooping, heavy laden. Admetus. Oh, I am lost, if thou wilt leave me, wife. Alcestis. No more, I am no more, as naught account me. Admetus. Uplift thy face, forsake not thine own children. Alcestis. Sore loath do I, yet oh farewell, my babes. Admetus. Look unto them, oh look. Alcestis. I am no more. Admetus. Ah, leav'st thou us? Alcestis. Farewell. [Dies. Admetus. O wretch undone! Chorus. Gone, gone, no more is this Admetus' wife. Eumelus. Woe for my lot! To the tomb hath my mother descended, descended. Never again, O my father, she seeth the light of the sun. In anguish she leaves us forsaken. The story is ended, of her sheltering love, and the tale of the motherless life is begun. Look, look on her eyelids, her hands drooping nerveless. Oh, hear me, oh, hear me. It is I beseech thee, my mother, thine own little bird. It is I, oh, I cast me upon thee. Thy lips are so near me, so near me. Unto mine am I pressing them, mother. I plead for a word, but a word. Admetus. With her who heareth not, nor seeth, ye and I are stricken with a heavy doom. Eumelus. And I am but a little one, father, so young and forsaken, forsaken. Forlorn of my mother, oh, hapless, a weariful lot shall be mine. And thou, little maiden, my sister, the burden hast taken, which thy brother may bear not alone, and a weariful lot shall be thine. O father, of long living love was thy marriage uncherished, uncherished. Thou hast won not the goal of old age, with the love of thy youth at thy side. For, or ever she won to the fulness of days, she hath perished, and the home is a wreck and a ruin, for thou, O my mother, hast died. Chorus. Admetus. This mischance thou needs must bear, nor first of mortals thou, nor shalt be last to lose a noble wife, and be thou sure, from us, from all, this debt is due, to die. Admetus. I know it. No wise unforeseen this ill hath swooped upon me. Long I grieved to know it. But for to burial must I bear my dead. Stay ye, and tarrying echo back my wail To that dark god whom no drink offerings move. And all Thessalians over whom I rule I bid take part in mourning for this woman, With shaven head and sable shrouding robe. And ye which yoke the cars four-horsed, or steeds of single frontlet, shear with steel their manes. Music of flutes the city through, or lyres, be none, while 12 moons round their circles out. For dearer dead, nor kinder unto me, I shall not bury. Worthy of mine honour is she, for she alone hath died for me. [Exit. Chorus, Strophe I. O Peleus' daughter, I hail thee, I waft thee eternal farewell To thine home, where the darkness must veil thee, Where in Hades unsunned thou shalt dwell. No dark haired, thy grey spirit wafter, Hath sped not with twy-plashing oar Woman nobler, nor shall speed hereafter To Acheron's shore. Antistrophe I. For the seven-stringed shell, or for paean unharped, shall thy fame be a song, when o'er Sparta the moon Carnean high rideth the whole night long. And in Athens the wealthy and splendid shall thy name on her bards' lips ring. Such a theme hast thou left to be blended with the lays that they sing. Strophe II. Oh, that the power were but in me From the chambers of Hades to light, And from streams of Cocytus to win thee With the oar of the river of night. O dear among women, strong hearted From Hades to ransom thy lord. Never spirit in such wise departed. Light lie on thee, lady, the sword. And, if ever thine husband shall mate him Again with a bride in thy stead, I will loathe him, his children shall hate him, The babes of the dead. Antistrophe II. When his mother would not be contented To hide her from him in the tomb, Nor his grey-haired father consented, Unholpen he looked on his doom. Whom they bare, the hard-hearted, they cared not, Though hoary their locks were, to save. Thou art gone, for thy great love spared not Thy blossom of youth from the grave. Ah, may it be mine, such communion of hearts 'Tis vouchsafed unto few. Then ours should be sorrowless union our life days through. Enter Heracles. Heracles. Strangers, who dwell in this Pheraian land, Say, do I find Admetus in his home? Chorus. Heracles in his home as Pheres' son. Yet say what brings thee to Thessalian land, That thou shouldst come to this Pheraian town? Heracles. A toil for King Eurystheus, lord of Tiryns. Chorus. And whither journeyest? To what wanderings yoked? Heracles. For Thracian Diomedes' four-horsed chariot. Chorus. How canst thou? Sure he is unknown to thee. Heracles. Unknown? To land Bistonian fared I never. Chorus. Not save by battle may those steeds be won. Heracles. Yet flinch I may not from the appointed toils. Chorus. Thy life or his, a triumph or a grave. Heracles. Not this the first time I have run such course. Chorus. What profit is it if thou slay their lord? Heracles. Those steeds shall I drive back to Tiryns' king. Chorus. Hard task, to set the bit betwixt their jaws. Heracles. That shall I, if their nostrils breathe not fire. Chorus. Yea, but with ravening jaws do they rend men. Heracles. Go to, thus banquet mountain beasts, not horses. Chorus. Nay, thou shalt see their cribs with gore bespattered. Heracles. Whom boasteth he for father, he that reared them? Chorus. Ares, the king of Thracia's golden shield. Heracles. Thou sayest? Such toil my fate imposeth still, Harsh evermore uphillward straining aye, If I must still in battle close with sons Gotten of Ares, with Lycaon first, And Cycnus then, and lo I come to grapple, The third strife this, with yon steeds and their lord. But never man shall see Alcmene's child Quailing before the hand of any foe. Chorus. Lo, there himself, the ruler of the land, Admetus, cometh forth his palace hall. Enter Admetus. Admetus. Hail, O thou sprung from Zeus and Perseus' blood. Heracles. Admetus, hail thou too, Thessalia's king. Admetus. Hail? Would I were! Yet thy good heart I know. Heracles. Wherefore, for mourning shaven, show'st thou thus? Admetus. This day must I commit to earth a corpse. Heracles. Now heaven forfend, thou mourn'st for children dead. Admetus. In mine home live the babes whom I begat. Heracles. Sooth, death ripe were thy sire, if he be gone. Admetus. He liveth, and my mother, Heracles. Heracles. Surely, oh surely, not thy wife, Admetus? Admetus. Twofold must be mine answer touching her. Heracles. Or hath she died, sayst thou, or liveth yet? Admetus. She is, and she is not. Here lies my sorrow. Heracles. Nothing the more I know. Dark sayings thine. Admetus. Know'st not the doom whereon she needs must light? Herakles. I know she pledged herself to die for thee. Admetus. How lives she then, if she to this consented? Herakles. Mourn not thy wife ere dead. Abide the hour. Admetus. Dead is the doomed, and no more is the dead. Herakles. Diverse are these, to be and not to be. Admetus. This, Herakles, thy sentence, that is mine. Herakles. But now, why weep'st thou? What dear friend is dead? Admetus. A woman. Hers the memory we mourn. Herakles. Some stranger born? Or nigh of kin to thee? Admetus. A stranger born, yet near and dear to us. Herakles. How died a stranger, then, in house of thine? Admetus. An orphan here she dwelt, her father dead. Herakles. Would we had found thee mourning not, Admetus. Admetus. Ay so? What purpose lurketh 'neath thy word? Herakles. On will I to another host's hearth welcome. Admetus. It cannot be. May no such evil come. Herakles. A burden unto mourners comes the guest. Admetus. Dead are the dead. But enter thou mine house. Herakles. 'Twere shame to banquet in the house of weeping. Admetus. Aloof the guest bowers are where we will lodge thee. Herakles. Let me pass on, and have my thanks unmeasured. Admetus. Unto another's hearth thou canst not go. To an Attendant. Ho thou, lead on. Open the guest bowers looking away from these our chambers. Tell my stewards to set on meat in plenty. Shut withal the mid court doors. It fits not that the guests, the while they feast, hear wailings and be vexed. [Exit Herakles. Chorus. What dost thou? Such affliction at the door, and guests for thee, Admetus? Art thou mad? Admetus. But had I driven him from my home and city, who came my guest, then hadst thou praised me more? Nay, sooth, for mine affliction so had grown no less, and more inhospitable I. And to mine ills were added this beside, that this my home were called guest-hating hall. Yea, and myself have proved him kindliest host, whene'er to Argos' thirsty plain I fared. Chorus. Why hide then the dread presence in the house, when came a friend? Thyself hast named him friend. Admetus. Never had he been one to pass my doors, had he one whit of mine afflictions known. To some, I wot, not wise herein I seem, nor wilt thou praise. But mine halls have not learned to thrust away, nor to dishonour guests. Chorus. Strophe I. Halls thronged of the guests ever welcome, O dwelling of a hero, forever the home of the free. The lord of the lyre strings sweet beyond telling, Apollo hath deigned to sojourn in thee. Amid thine habitations, a shepherd of sheep, The flocks of Admetus he scorned not to keep, While the shepherd's bridle strains, soft swelling from his pipe, Pealed over the slant-sloped lea. Antistrophe I. And the spotted lynxes, for joy of thy singing, mixed with thy flocks. And from Othrys' dell trooped tawny lions, the witchery winging Notes brought dancing around thy shell. Phoebus, the dappled fawn from the shadow Of the tall tressed pines, tripping forth to the meadow, Beating time to the chime of the rapture-ringing music, With light feet tranced by its spell. Strophe II. Wherefore the flocks of my lord unnumbered By the Boebian mere fair rippling stray. Where the steeds of the sun halt, darkness cumbered By Molossian marches far away The borders lie of his golden grain, And his rolling stretches of pasture plain, And the havenless beach Aegean hath slumbered Under Pelion long 'neath the peace of his sway. Antistrophe II. And now, with the tears from his eyes fast raining, Thrown wide are his palace doors to the guest, While newly his heart 'neath its burden is straining For the wife that hath died in his halls distressed. For to honour's heights are the high-born lifted, And the good are with truest wisdom gifted. And there broods on mine heart bright trust unwaning That the god reverer shall yet be blest. Admetus. O kindly presence of Pheraian men. This corpse even now, with all things meet, my servants bear on their shoulders to the tomb and pyre. Wherefore, as custom is, hail ye the dead, on the last journey as she goeth forth. Chorus. Lo, I behold thy sire with aged foot advancing, and attendants in their hands bear ornaments to deck the dead withal. Enter Pheres with attendants bearing gifts. Pheres. I come in thine affliction sorrowing, son. A noble wife and virtuous hast thou lost. None will gainsay. Yet these calamities we needs must bear, how hard to bear soever. Receive these ornaments, and let her pass beneath the earth. Well may the corpse be honoured of her who for thy life's sake died, my son. Who made me not unchilded, left me not forlorn of thee to pine in woeful eld. In all her sisters' eyes she hath crowned her life with glory, daring such a deed as this. O saviour of my son, who us upraisest in act to fall, all hail. May bliss be thine even in Hades. Thus to wed, I say, profiteth men, or nothing worth is marriage. Admetus. Bidden of me thou com'st not to this burial, nor count I thine the presence of a friend. Thine ornaments she never shall put on, she shall be buried needing nought of thine. Thou grieve. Thou shouldst have grieved in my death hour. Thou stoodst aloof, the old didst leave the young to die, and wilt thou wail upon this corpse? True father of my body thou wast not, nor she that said she bare me, and was called my mother, gave me birth. Of bondman blood to thy wife's breast was I brought privily, put to the test, thou showest who thou art. And I account me not thy true born son. Peerless of men in soulless cowardice. So old, and standing on the verge of life, yet hadst no will, yet hadst no heart to die for thine own son. Ye suffered her, a woman not of our house, whom I with righteous cause might count alone my mother and my father. Yet here was honour, hadst thou dared the strife, in dying for thy son. A paltry space to cling to life in any wise was left. Then had I lived, and she, through days to come, nor I left lorn, should thus mine ills bemoan. Yet all that may the fortunate betide fell to thy lot. In manhood's prime a king, me hadst thou son and heir unto thine house, so that thou wast not dying like to leave a childless home for stranger folk to spoil. Nor canst thou say that flouting thy grey hairs I gave thee o'er to death, whose reverence for thee was passing word. And this the thank that thou and she that bare me render me. Wherefore make haste, beget thee other sons to foster thy grey hairs, to compass thee with death's observance, and lay out thy corpse. Not I with this mine hand will bury thee, for thee dead am I. If I see the light, another saviour found, I call me son to her, and loving fosterer of her age. For not the aged pray for death's release, plaining of age and weary wearing time. Let death draw near, who then would die? Not one. No more is eld a burden unto them. Chorus. O hush! Suffice the affliction at the doors, O son! Infuriate not thy father's soul. Pheres. Son, whom, think'st thou? Some Lydian slave or Phrygian bought with thy money? Thus beratest thou? What, know'st thou not that I Thessalian am, sprung from Thessalian sire, free man true born? This insolence passeth, hurling malapert words on me? Not lightly thus shalt thou come off. Thee I begat and nurtured, of mine house the heir. No debt is mine to die for thee. Not from our sires such custom we received, that sires for sons should die. No Greek law this. Born for thyself wast thou, to fortune good or evil. All thy dues from us thou hast. O'er many folk thou rulest, wide domains shall I leave thee. To me my fathers left them. What is my wrong, my robbery of thee? For me die thou not, I die not for thee. Thou joy'st to see light, shall thy father joy not? Sooth, I account our time beneath the earth long, and our life space short, yet is it sweet. Shamelessly hast thou fought against thy death. Thy life is but transgression of thy doom and murder of thy wife. My cowardice? This from thee, dastard? Worsted by a woman who died for thee, the glorious, gallant youth? Cunning device hast thou devised to die never. cajoling still wife after wife to die for thee? And dost revile thy friends who will not so? And thou the coward, thou? Peace! E'en bethink thee, if thou lov'st thy life, so all love theirs. Thou, if thou speakest evil of us, shalt hear much evil, and that true. Chorus. Ye have said too much, thou now, and he before. Refrain, old sire, from railing on thy son. Admetus. Say on, say on. I have said. If hearing truth gall thee, thou shouldst not have done me wrong. Pheres. I had done more wrong, had I died for thee. Admetus. What? For the young and old is death the same? Pheres. One life to live, not twain. This is our due. Admetus. Have thy desire. One life outlasting Zeus. Pheres. Dost curse thy parents, who hast had no wrong? Admetus. I, whom I marked love sick for dateless life. Pheres. What? Art not burying her in thine own stead? Admetus. A token, dastard, of thy cowardice. Pheres. I did her not to death. Thou canst not say it. Admetus. Mayst thou feel thy need of me some day. Pheres. Woo many women, that the more may die. Admetus. This taunt strikes thee. 'Tis thou wast loth to die. Pheres. Sweet is yon sun god's light, yea, it is sweet. Admetus. Base is thy spirit, and unmeet for men. Pheres. No aged corpse thou bearest, inly laughing. Admetus. Yet shalt thou die in ill fame when thou diest. Pheres. Naught reck I of ill speaking o'er my grave. Admetus. Ah me! How full of shamelessness is eld! Pheres. Not shameless she, but senseless hast thou found her. Admetus. Begone! Leave me to bury this my dead. Pheres. I go. Her murderer will bury her. Thou shalt yet answer for it to her kin. Surely Alcestis is no more a man, if he of thee claim not his sister's blood. [Exit Pheres. Admetus. Avaunt, with her that kenneleth with thee. Childless grow old, as ye deserve, while lives your child. Ye shall not come beneath one roof with me. If need were, to renounce by heralds thy fatherhood, I had renounced it now. Let us, for we must bear the present ill, pass on, to lay our dead upon the pyre. Chorus. Alas, for the loving and daring! Farewell to the noblest and best! May Hermes conduct thee down faring kindly, and Hades to rest receive thee. If any atonement for ills even there may betide to the good, O thine be enthronement by Hades' bride. [Exeunt omnes in funeral procession. End of Part II. Recording by Expatriate in Bangor, Maine. Of Alcestis by Euripides. Translated by Arthur Sanders Way, 1847 to 1930. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Recording by Expatriate in Bangor, Maine. Part III. Enter Servant. Servant. Full many a guest from many a land which came Unto Admetus' dwelling have I known, have set before them meat, but never guest More pestilent received I to this hearth, Who first, albeit he saw my master mourning, Entered, and passed the threshold unashamed. Then, nowise courteously received the fare Found with us, though our woeful plight he knew. But, what we brought not, hectoring bade us bring. The ivy cup uplifts he in his hands, And swills the darkling mother's fiery blood, Till the wine's flame enwrapped him, heating him. Then did he wreath his head with myrtle sprays, Dissonant howling. Diverse strains were heard. For he sang on, regardless all of ills Darkening Admetus' house. We servants wept our mistress, yet we showed not to the guest Eyes tear bedewed, for so Admetus bade. And now within the house must I be feasting this guest, A lawless thief, a bandit rogue. She from the house hath passed, I followed not, Nor stretched the hand, nor wailed unto my mistress farewell, Who was to me and all the household a mother. For from ills untold she saved us. assuaging her lord's wrath. Do I not well to loathe this guest, intruder on our griefs? Enter Herakles. Herakles. Ho, fellow, why this solemn brooding look? The servant should not lower upon the guest, but welcome him with kindly beaming cheer. Thou, seeing here in presence thy lord's friend, with visage sour and cloud of knitted brows receiv'st him, fretting o'er an alien grief. Hither to me, that wiser thou mayst grow. The lot of men, its nature knowest thou? I trow not. How shouldst thou? Give ear to me. From all mankind the debt of death is due, nor of all mortals is there one that knows if through the coming morrow he shall live. For trackless is the way of Fortune's feet, not to be taught, nor won by art of man. This hearing then, and learning it from me, make merry, drink. The life from day to day account thine own, all else in Fortune's power. Honour withal the sweetest of the gods to men, the Cyprian queen, a gracious goddess. These thoughts put by, and hearken to my words, if words of wisdom unto thee they seem. I trow it. Hence with sorrow overwrought, pass through yon doors, and quaff the wine with me, thy brows with garlands bound. Full well I wot, from all this lowering spirit prison pent, thine anchor shall Sir Beaker's plash upheave. What, man? The mortal must be mortal minded. So for your solemn wights of knitted brows, for each and all, if thou for judge wilt take me, life is not truly life, but mere affliction. Servant. All this we know. But now are we in plight not meet for laughter and for revelry. Herakles. The woman dead is alien born. Grieve not exceeding much. Yet live the household's lords. Servant. Live, quotha? Know'st thou not the house's ills? Herakles. Yea, if thy master lied not unto me. Servant. Guest fain he is. Ah, guest fain overmuch. Herakles. A stranger dead, and no guest cheer for me? Servant. O yea, an alien she, o'ermuch an alien. Herakles. Ha! Was he keeping some affliction back? Servant. Go thou in peace. Our lord's ills are for us. Herakles. Grief for a stranger such talk heralds not. Servant. Else had I not sore vexed beheld thy revelling. Herakles. How? Have I sorry handling of mine hosts? Servant. Thou cam'st in hour unmeet for welcoming. For grief is on us, and thou seest shorn hair and vesture of black robes. Herakles. But who hath died? Not of the children one, or grey haired sire. Servant. Nay, but Admetus' wife is dead, O guest. Herakles. How sayst thou? Ha! Even then ye gave me welcome? Servant. For shame he could not thrust thee from his doors. Herakles. O hapless! What a helpmeet hast thou lost! Servant. We have all perished, and not she alone. Herakles. I felt it when I saw his tear drowned eyes, His shaven hair and face, yet he prevailed, Saying he bare a stranger friend to burial. I passed the threshold in mine heart's despite, And drank in halls of him that loves the guest, When thus his plight? And am I revelling with head wreath decked? That thou shouldst ne'er have told, when such affliction lay upon the home, Where doth he bury her? Where shall I find her? Servant. By the straight path that leads Larissa-ward, shall see the hewn stone tomb without the walls. Herakles. O much enduring heart and soul of mine, Now show what son the lady of Tiryns bare, Electyon's child Alcmene, unto Zeus. For I must save the woman newly dead, And set Alcestis in this house again, And render to Admetus good for good. I go. The sable vestured king of corpses, Death, will I watch for, and shall find, I trow, Drinking the death draught hard beside the tomb. And if I lie in wait, and dart from ambush, And seize, and with mine arms' coil compass him, None is there shall deliver from mine hands His straining sides, or e'er he yields his prey. Yea, though I miss the quarry, and he come not Unto the blood clot, to the sunless homes Down will I fare of Coriand her king, And make demand. I doubt not I shall lead Alcestis up, and give to mine host's hands, Who to his halls received, nor drave me thence. albeit smitten with affliction sore, but hid it like a prince, respecting me. Who is more guest fain of Thessalians? Who in all Hellas, he shall not say That one so princely showed a base man kindness. [Exit. Enter Admetus, with Chorus and attendants, returning from the funeral. Admetus. O hateful returning! O hateful to see Drear halls full of yearning For the lost, ah me! What aim or what rest have I? Silence or speech, of what help shall they be? Would God I were dead! I came from the womb To a destiny dread. Ah, those in the tomb, How I envy them, how I desire them And long to abide in their home! To mine eyes nothing sweet Is the light of the heaven, nor the earth to my feet. Such a helpmeet is riven By death from my side, and my darling to Hades the spoiler hath given. Chorus. Pass on thou, and hide thee in thy chambers. Admetus. Ah woe! Chorus. Wail the griefs that betide thee. How canst thou but so? Admetus. O God! Chorus. Thou hast passed through deep waters of anguish. I know it, I know. Admetus. Alas and alas! Chorus. No help bringeth this To thy love in that place. Admetus. Woe! Chorus. Bitter it is, the face of a wife well beloved For ever and ever to miss. Admetus. Thou hast stricken mine heart Where the wound will not heal. What is worse than to part From the loving and leal? Would God I had wedded her not, Home bliss with Alcestis to feel. I envy the lot Of the man without wife, without child. Single wrought is the strand of his life. No soul crushing burden of sorrow, no strength overmastering strife, But that children should sicken, that gloom of despair Over bride beds should thicken. What spirit can bear, when childless unwedded, A man through life's calm journey might fare? Chorus. Thee fortune hath met, strong wrestler, and thrown, Yet no bounds hast thou set. Admetus. Woe's me! Chorus. To thy moan. Thy burden is heavy. Admetus. Alas! Chorus. Yet endure it. Thou art not alone. Not thou art the first of bereaved ones. Admetus. Ah me! Chorus. Such tempest hath burst Upon many ere thee. Unto each his mischance, when the surges roll up from calamity's sea. Admetus. Long grief and pain For beloved ones past, Why didst thou restrain, when myself I had cast Down into her grave, with the noblest to lie Peace lulled at the last? Not one soul, but two, Had been Hades' prey, souls utterly true Together for aye, Which together o'er waves of the underworld mere Had passed this day. Chorus. Of my kin was there one, and the life's light failed In his halls of a son, one meet to be wailed, His only beloved, howbeit the manhood Within him prevailed, And the ills heaven sent as a man did he bear, Though by this was he bent unto silvered hair, Far on in life's path, without son for his remnant of weakness to share. Admetus. How can I tread thy threshold, fair home? How shelter mine head 'neath my roof, now the doom Of the gods' dice changeth? Ah me! What change upon all things is come! For with torches aflame of the Pelian pine, And with bride song I came, in that hour divine, Upbearing the hand of a wife, thine hand, O darling mine! Followed revellers raising acclaim, Ever broke from the lips of them praising, Of the dead as they spoke, and of me, how the noble, the children of kings, Love joined 'neath his yoke. But for bridal song is the wail for the dead, And for white robed throng black vesture hath led Me to halls where the ghost of delight Lieth couched on a desolate bed. Chorus. To the trance of thy bliss Sudden anguish was brought. Never lesson like this To thine heart had been taught. Yet thy life hast thou won, and thy soul Hast delivered from death. Is it naught? Thy wife hath departed. Love tender and true Hath she left, stricken hearted. Wherein is this new? Hath death not unyoked from the chariot of love Full many ere you? Admetus. Friends, I account the fortune of my wife Happier than mine, albeit it seems not so. For nought of grief shall touch her any more, And glorious rest she finds from many toils. But I, unmeet to live, my doom outrun, Shall drag out bitter days. I know it now. How shall I bear to enter this mine home? Speaking to whom, and having speech of whom, Shall I find joy of entering? Whither turn me? The solitude within shall drive me forth, Whenso I see my wife's couch tenantless, And seats whereon she sat, and 'neath the roof All foul the floor. When on my knees my babes, falling, shall weep their mother, Servants moan the peerless mistress from the mansion lost. All this within, but from the world without Shall bridals of Thessalians chase me, Throngs where women gossip, for I shall not bear On those companions of my wife to look. And if a foe I have, thus shall he scoff: Lo there who basely liveth dared not die, But whom he wedded gave a coward's ransom, And 'scaped from Hades. Count ye him a man? He hates his parents, though himself was loath to die. Such ill report besides my griefs shall mine be. Ah, what profit is it to live, O friends, in evil fame, in evil plight? Chorus, Strophe I. I have mused on the words of the wise, of the mighty in song. I have lifted mine heart to the skies, I have searched all truth with mine eyes, But naught more strong than fate have I found. There is naught in the tablets of Thrace, Neither drugs whereof Orpheus taught, Nor in all that Apollo brought To Asclepius' race. When the herbs of healing he severed, And out of their anguish delivered The pain distraught. Antistrophe I. There is none other goddess beside To the altars of whom no man draweth near, Nor hath cried To her image, nor victim hath died, Averting her doom. O goddess, more mighty for ill come not upon me Than in days overpast, for his will Even Zeus may in no wise fulfil, Unholpen of thee. Steel is molten as water before thee, But never relenting came o'er thee, Who are ruthless still. Strophe II. Thee, friend, hath the goddess gripped. From her hands never wrestler hath slipped. Yet be strong to endure, never morning shall bring Our beloved returning From the nether gloom up to the light. Yea, the heroes of gods begotten, They fade into darkness, forgotten In death's chill night. Dear was she in days ere we lost her, Dear yet, though she lie with the dead. None nobler shall Earth mother foster Than the wife of thy bed. Antistrophe II. Not as mounds of the dead which have died, So account we the tomb of thy bride. But oh, let the worship and honour That we render to gods rest upon her. Unto her let the wayfarer pray, As he treadeth the pathway that trendeth Aside from the highway, and bendeth At her shrine, he shall say, Her life for her lord's was given. With the blest now abides she on high. Hail, Queen, show us grace from thine heaven. Even so shall they cry. But lo, Alcmene's son, as seemeth yonder, Admetus to thine hearth is journeying. Enter Herakles, leading a woman wholly veiled. Herakles. Unto a friend behoveth speech outspoken, Admetus, not to hide within the breast Murmurs unvoiced. I came mid thine affliction. Fair claim was mine to rank amid thy friends. Thou toldst me not how lay thy wife a corpse. Thou gavest me guest welcome in thine home, Making pretence of mourning for a stranger. I wreathed mine head, I spilled unto the gods Drink offerings in a stricken house, even thine. I blame thee, thus mishandled, yea, I blame thee. Yet nowise is my will to gall thy grief. But wherefore hither turning back I come, This will I tell. Take, guard for me this maid, Till leading hitherward the Thracian mares, I come from slaughter of Bistonia's lord. But if not that, for I would fain return I give her then for service of thine halls. Prize of hard toil unto mine hands she came. For certain men I found but now arraying In athlete strife, toil worthy for all comers, Whence I have won and bring this victor's meed. Horses there were for them to take which won The light foot's triumph. But for hero strife, Boxing and wrestling, oxen were the guerdon. A woman made it richer. Shame it seemed To hap thereon and slip this glorious gain. But, as I said, this woman be thy care. For no thief's prize, but toil achieved, I bring her. Yea, one day thou perchance shalt say 'twas well. Admetus. Not flouting thee, nor counting among foes My wife's unhappy fate I hid from thee. But this had been but grief uppiled on grief, Hadst thou sped hence to be another's guest. And mine own ills suffice me to bewail. But for the woman, if in any wise it may be, Prince, bid some Thessalian guard her, I pray thee, who hath suffered not as I. In Pherai many a friend and host thou hast. Awaken not remembrance of my grief. I could not, seeing her mine halls within, be tearless. Add not hurt unto mine hurt. Burdened enough am I by mine affliction. Nay, in mine house where should a young maid lodge? For vesture and adorning speak her young. What, 'neath the men's roof shall her lodging be? And how unsullied, dwelling with young men? Not easy is it, Herakles, to curb the young. Herein do I take thought for thee. Or shall I ope to her my dead wife's bower? How? Cause her to usurp my lost love's bed? Twofold reproach I dread. From mine own folk, lest one should say that, traitor to her kindness, I fall upon another woman's bed. And of the dead, to me most reverence worthy, Needs must I take great heed. But woman, thou, whoso thou art, Know that thy body's stature is as Alcestis, And thy form as hers. Ah me! Lead, for the gods' sake, from my sight this woman. Take not my captivity captive. For as I look on her, methinks I see my wife. She stirs mine heart with turmoil. Fountains of tears burst from mine eyes. O wretched I! Now first I taste this grief's full bitterness. Chorus. In sooth, thy fortune can I not commend. Yet must we brook a god's gift, whoso cometh. Herakles. Oh, that such might I had as back to bring To light thy wife from nethergloom abodes, And to bestow this kindness upon thee. Admetus. Fain wouldst thou, well I know. But wherefore this? It cannot be the dead to light should come. Herakles. O'ershoot not now the mark, but bear all bravely. Admetus. Easier to exhort than suffer and be strong. Herakles. But what thy profit, though for aye thou mourn? Admetus. I too know this, yet love constraineth me. Herakles. Love for the lost, ay, that draws forth the tear. Admetus. She hath undone me more than words can tell. Herakles. A good wife hast thou lost, who shall gainsay? Admetus. So that this man hath no more joy in life. Herakles. Time shall bring healing. Now is thy grief young. Admetus. Time? Time? O yea, if this thy time be death. Herakles. A wife, and yearning for new love, shall calm thee. Admetus. Hush! What sayest thou? I could not think thereon. Herakles. How? Wilt not wed, but widowed keep thy couch? Admetus. Lives not the woman that shall couch with me? Herakles. Look'st thou that this shall profit aught the dead? Admetus. I needs must honour her where'er she be. Herakles. Good, good. Yet one with folly so might charge thee. Admetus. So be it, so thou call me bridegroom never. Herakles. I praise thee for that leal thou art to her. Admetus. Death be my meed if I betray her dead. Herakles. Receive this woman, now these halls within. Admetus. Nay, I beseech by Zeus that did beget thee. Herakles. Yet shalt thou err, if thou do not this thing. Admetus. Yet shall mine heart be grief stung, if I do it. Herakles. Yield thee. This grace may prove perchance a duty. Admetus. Oh, that in strife thou ne'er hadst won this maid. Herakles. Yet thy friend's victory is surely thine. Admetus. Well said. Yet let the woman hence depart. Herakles. Yea, if need be. First look well. Need it be? Admetus. Needs must, save thou wilt else be wroth with me. Herakles. I too know what I do, insisting thus. Admetus. Have then thy will. Thy pleasure is my pain. Herakles. Yet one day shalt thou praise me. Only yield. Admetus (to attendants). Lead ye her, if mine halls must needs receive. Herakles. Not to thy servants' hands will I commit her. Admetus. Thou lead her in then, if it seems thee good. Herakles. Nay, but in thine hands will I place her, thine. Admetus. I will not touch her. Open stand my doors. Herakles. Unto thy right hand only trust I her. Admetus. O king, thou forcest me. I will not this. Herakles. Be strong. Stretch forth thine hand and touch thy guest. Admetus. I stretch it forth as to a headless Gorgon. Herakles. Hast her? Admetus. I have. Herakles. Yea, guard her. Thou shalt call the child of Zeus one day a noble guest. Raises the veil and discloses Alcestis. Look on her. If in aught she seems to thee like to thy wife, step forth from grief to bliss. Admetus. What shall I say? Gods, marvel this unhoped for! My wife do I behold in very sooth? Or doth some god sent mockery joy distract me? Herakles. Not so, but this thou seest is thy wife. Admetus. What if this be some phantom from the shades? Herakles. No ghost upraiser hast thou ta'en for guest? Admetus. How? Whom I buried do I see, my wife. Herakles. Doubt not, yet mightst thou well mistrust thy fortune. Admetus. As wife, as living, may I touch, address her? Herakles. Speak to her. All thou didst desire, thou hast. Admetus. O face, O form of my beloved wife! Past hope I have thee, who ne'er thought to see thee. Herakles. Thou hast. May no god of thy bliss be jealous. Admetus. O scion nobly born of Zeus most high, blessings on thee! The father who begat thee keep thee! Thou only hast restored my fortunes. How didst thou bring her from the shades to light? Herakles. I closed in conflict with the lord of spirits. Admetus. Where, sayst thou, didst thou fight this fight with death? Herakles. From ambush by the tomb mine hands ensnared him. Admetus. Now wherefore, speechless, standeth thus my wife? Herakles. 'Tis not vouchsafed thee yet to hear her voice, Ere to the powers beneath the earth she be Unconsecrated, and the third day come. But lead her in, and, just man as thou art, Henceforth, Admetus, reverence still the guest. Farewell. But I must go, and work the work Set by the king, the son of Sthenelus. Admetus. Abide with us, a sharer of our hearth. Herakles. Hereafter this. Now must I hasten on. Admetus. O prosper thou, and come again in peace! Through all my realm I publish to my folk That for these blessings dances they array, And that atonement fumes from altars rise. For now to happier days than those o'erpast Have we attained. I own me blest indeed. Chorus. O the works of the gods! In manifold forms they reveal them. Manifold things unhoped for the gods to accomplishment bring. And the things that we looked for, the gods deign not to fulfil them. And the paths undiscerned of our eyes, the gods unseal them. So fell this marvellous thing. Exeunt omnes. End of Part 3. Recording by Expatriate in Bangor, Maine. End of Alcestis by Euripides. Translated by Arthur Sanders Way, 1847 to 1930.